Faith Fraser alive? The very thought sends chills through the bones. For years, Claire and Jamie Fraser have carried the unbearable weight of the memory of their lost daughter, the little girl they never got to hold, never got to raise. Faith was more than just a tragedy. She was the ghost of a future that was stolen from them, a dream they couldn't touch. Or so we thought. But in the explosive opening moments of Outlander Season 8, that ghost may not be a ghost at all. What if the child they mourned, the one they had to bury in their hearts, somehow impossibly survived? This revelation is so shocking, so earth-shattering, that it threatens to undo everything we believed about the Fraser legacy. Could it really be true? Could Faith Fraser, the lost child of the Fraser clan, have been hiding in plain sight all these years? If she is alive, where has she been? Who has she become in all this time? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, why return now? Why appear at a moment when the world is on the brink of chaos, when time itself is unraveling? This isn't just a twist, it's a reckoning. The return of Faith Fraser promises to alter the course of the Fraser family forever, throwing Jamie and Claire into a web of mystery, deception, and danger that could change everything. Outlander Season 8 begins not with the warmth of reunion, but with haunting whispers that echo across time, reverberating through their hearts and threatening to reshape their destiny. Get ready for a journey where nothing is as it seems, and the past, present, and future collide in a way you never saw coming. The Fraser saga is about to take a turn into the unknown. Claire is plagued by visions of a child, a little girl with eyes just like Jamie's. These visions are more vivid than dreams, almost like memories. But how could they be? Determined to uncover the truth behind the haunting visions that have plagued her mind, Claire embarks on a journey darker and more perilous than any she's ever faced before. What begins as a desperate search for answers quickly spirals into an inescapable descent through shadows, a treacherous path filled with secrets, lies, and dangers lurking at every turn. But this time, it's not just her sanity she's risking. It's her very soul and her life. For someone, somewhere, is determined to keep the truth about Faith buried, and they will stop at nothing to ensure it remains hidden. Meanwhile, Jamie is torn in ways he never imagined possible. The very thought that their daughter, the one he mourned, the tiny life they were forced to let go, could still be alive, shakes him to his core. How can he dare to hope without shattering under the weight of it? How can he trust in a miracle when it could very well be a cruel illusion? Every clue, every fleeting possibility pulls him deeper into an abyss of what-ifs, threatening to drown him in sorrow. Together, Claire and Jamie plunge headfirst into a mystery more twisted, more dangerous than anything they've ever encountered before. Their search for faith leads them through a labyrinth of lies, where each step uncovers another layer of betrayal. Enemies, both old and new, resurface from the shadows, vengeful ghosts with unfinished business and dark forces lurking behind friendly faces. The Frasers soon find themselves trapped in a deadly conspiracy, one that stretches back further than they ever imagined. Faith, it seems, is no longer a symbol of hope, but a weapon in a game of power, revenge, and manipulation. But why? Why would someone steal their child? Why keep her hidden for all these years? And what twisted motive could justify such cruelty? Perhaps most terrifying of all, who has Faith become after a lifetime apart from the only people who ever truly loved her? What horrors has she endured, and what will it take to bring her back to them? As Claire follows the fragmented trail, she uncovers a chilling truth: Faith's return is no miracle, but a carefully crafted trap. A brutal move in a game of power orchestrated by an enemy all too familiar, whose thirst for vengeance has only deepened with time. Faith is no innocent victim. She's been turned into a pawn, a weapon to be used in a war that Claire and Jamie never knew existed. And now it's up to Claire to save her, but doing so may cost her everything. The return of Faith Fraser isn't just a dramatic twist. It's the unraveling of everything the Frasers have built. It forces them to confront their darkest regrets, their deepest fears, and the terrifying reality that sometimes the past doesn't stay buried. Sometimes it comes back to claim you and everything you hold dear. This isn't just the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. It's a reckoning, a tale of love tested to its limits, of loyalties betrayed, and a family pushed to the edge. Faith's return doesn't just change the course of their lives, it changes everything. And the truth? It's coming. But no one is prepared for the devastation it will bring. As Claire digs deeper into the mystery of Faith's existence, she crosses paths with someone from her past, a figure she never expected to see again, Master Raymond. The enigmatic healer who once saved her life now holds the keys to secrets that defy time itself. But his knowledge comes at a high price. He warns her in riddles, cryptically telling her that some truths are better left buried. He tells her that Faith's existence was never meant to be uncovered, and that pursuing this path will lead to danger beyond anything she could imagine. But Claire is relentless. She cannot let fear stop her from finding her daughter no matter the cost. Master Raymond's revelations only deepen the mystery. Faith, it turns out, was taken at birth by an ancient and shadowy order known as the Shadows of Fate, a secretive group that manipulates time itself for their own dark purposes. They saw Faith's birth as a threat, a child born out of time whose existence could shatter their power and control over history. To preserve their influence, they hid her away, erasing all traces of her. But something went wrong. The timeline began to unravel, and Faith's presence began to reverberate through time, calling out to her mother. Those haunting visions Claire has been seeing? They are not mere dreams. They are echoes of Faith's life, reaching across centuries, desperately trying to find her parents. Terrified by the implications of this revelation, Claire realizes that Faith has been alive all along, growing up in a world where she never knew the truth of her origins. But why now? Why are these echoes appearing now, after so many years of silence? Master Raymond's words only grow darker. Faith is in grave danger. The Shadows of Fate are preparing to eliminate her, once and for all, to restore the timeline and protect their power. If Claire doesn't find Faith in time, she will be lost forever. With a heart full of love and fear, Claire races back to Jamie with the devastating truth. But Jamie's reaction is far from what she expected. He is furious that she kept this secret from him, furious that she risked everything to seek answers. Beneath his anger, though, lies the raw pain of a father who dared to hope, only to have that hope dashed. Jamie cannot bear the thought of losing Faith again, not after all these years. But Claire refuses to give up. She convinces him that they must fight, no matter the cost. Because Faith is their daughter, and they will stop at nothing to bring her home. Together, they embark on a deadly mission to find Faith before it's too late. But they're not the only ones searching. The Shadows of Fate are already closing in, determined to wipe her from history forever. As Jamie and Claire follow the echoes that ripple through time, they come to a horrific realization: they're not chasing a reunion. They're walking straight into a trap. A web of lies and deception has been spun across centuries, and with every step they take, their every move is being watched. Their enemies, ancient, merciless, and patient, are lying in wait, ready to strike the moment the Frasers get too close to the truth. With each clue that brings them closer to Faith, the danger grows. The path is no longer just uncertain, it's lethal. One wrong move could change the course of history, unravel the very fabric of time itself, or end their lives in an instant. But Jamie and Claire are no strangers to impossible odds. With their hearts bound by love and their spirits unyielding, they refuse to turn back. They will risk everything: their safety, their future, even their lives, to bring Faith home. Yet with every step, the shadows grow bolder. They're not just being followed, they're being hunted. Sinister figures move through time like phantoms, weaving between eras with terrifying precision. Their enemies are not bound to a single moment in history. They are ghosts of forgotten wars, puppeteers of fate, determined to keep Faith hidden from the world forever. The Frasers are racing not only against time, but against an enemy that controls it. Their journey becomes a test of endurance, faith, and love, not just in each other, but in the impossible. They battle enemies they never knew existed, forces that defy the laws of reality, all while clinging to the hope that their daughter is still out there, waiting. But the most haunting question they face is no longer where is Faith? It's will we reach her in time? Because if they fail, the truth about Faith's return won't be a reunion. It will be the end of everything they fought for and the loss of everything they love. This is no longer just a story of love and loss. It's a battle for legacy, for truth, and for the soul of the Fraser family. And the final chapter has only just begun. Nowhere is safe. No one can be trusted. And the closer they get to the truth, the more deadly their enemies become. In their quest to find Faith, Jamie and Claire discover an ancient artifact known as the Mirror of Echoes. This powerful relic allows them to glimpse moments from Faith's life, brief, heartbreaking flashes of a little girl growing up alone, wondering who she is and where she came from. Claire watches in agony as she sees Faith's face, for the first time her daughter's eyes filled with longing and sadness. Jamie's heart breaks as he sees Faith's fiery spirit, so much like her mother's, defying the cruel world that imprisoned her. These visions give them hope, but they also fill them with fear. Faith is out there, but she's alone and she's running out of time. But using the Mirror of Echoes comes at a cost. Every glimpse into Faith's life disrupts the timeline, causing ripples that could change the past, present, and future. The more they use it, the more dangerous it becomes. Time itself begins to fracture. Reality starts to shift. Events from their past are altered. Memories are rewritten. The world around them becomes unstable. Jamie and Claire realize they're not just fighting to save Faith, they're fighting to save time itself. The shadows of fate are furious that Jamie and Claire have found the Mirror of Echoes. They'll do anything to stop them from using it, even if it means killing them both. The Ancient Order sends their most deadly assassin, a man known only as the Whisperer. A shadowy figure who can move through time without leaving a trace. He hunts them relentlessly, always one step ahead, always just out of sight. Jamie and Claire are running out of time, and the walls are closing in. Desperate for answers, Claire turns to Master Raymond once more. But when she arrives at his hidden sanctuary, she finds it in ruins. Master Raymond is gone, his home destroyed by the shadows of fate. But he left behind a final clue, a map leading to the Temple of Time, the place where Faith was hidden all those years ago. It's their only hope. But the journey is perilous, leading them across treacherous landscapes and through ancient ruins filled with deadly traps. With danger lurking at every turn, Jamie and Claire must rely on each other like never before. Their love is their greatest strength, but it's also their greatest weakness. The shadows of fate know this, and they use it against them, creating illusions to manipulate their emotions and break their spirits. Jamie is haunted by visions of losing Claire, while Claire is tormented by memories of Faith slipping through her fingers. They're fighting not just for their daughter, but for each other, and for their very souls. As they near the Temple of Time, Jamie and Claire realize they're not just facing an ancient order, they're facing destiny itself. The shadows of fate are guardians of time, protectors of the timeline. To save Faith, Jamie and Claire must defy fate itself, rewriting history and challenging the very fabric of time. But altering destiny comes at a cost, and the consequences could be catastrophic. The tension is unbearable. The stakes are higher than ever. Every decision Jamie and Claire make could change the world as they know it. And as they prepare to enter the Temple of Time, one question haunts them. Can they truly defy fate, or will their quest to save Faith be the end of them all? The battle is far from over. The shadows of fate are closing in. The timeline is unraveling. And the journey to save Faith is about to reach its most dangerous turning point. Inside the Temple of Time, the air hangs thick with an ancient, almost palpable magic, as though the very essence of time itself is alive. The walls seem to pulse with the whispers of long-forgotten voices, the echoes of those who came before, their stories intertwined with the very fabric of the temple. Every step Jamie and Claire take brings them closer to a chilling truth. They are standing at the epicenter of something far more powerful than they ever could have imagined. This is no mere temple. It is a nexus, a sacred space where the boundaries of time converge, a place where past, present, and future intertwine, where the very laws of reality can be bent, manipulated, and guarded. The labyrinthine corridors and hidden passages carved by an ancient hand are not simply architectural marvels. They are designed with one singular, terrifying purpose: to protect the greatest secret of all, the truth about Faith's existence, locked away forever. But they are not alone. The Whisperer waits in the shadows, his presence an oppressive weight on the air, as menacing as it is omnipresent. A figure of darkness, he is the embodiment of Fate's most dangerous weapon, a man who has mastered the art of time manipulation, bending reality to his will with a terrifying precision. His very existence is a force capable of unraveling everything Jamie and Claire hold dear. He is the keeper of time's darkest secrets, and with every step they take, he watches them, his cold, calculating gaze never leaving their every move. As Jamie and Claire press on, the Whisperer's voice slithers through the temple, a sinister sound that reverberates off the ancient stone, twisting and taunting them as they venture deeper into the heart of the temple. He warns them that they are trespassing on sacred ground, a place where no mortal should ever dare to tread. But he is not just an adversary, he is a master of manipulation, and he knows them better than they know themselves. He knows their deepest fears, their unspeakable doubts, the very core of their vulnerabilities. And with every step forward, he twists those weaknesses into illusions so real, so terrifying, that they begin to blur the line between reality and nightmare. For Jamie, the past comes crashing back to life. He sees the haunting image of his father's face, accusing him, blaming him for his failure to protect his family. The vision is so vivid, so tangible, it shakes him to his very core, threatening to consume him with guilt and regret. For Claire, the vision is even more unbearable. She hears Faith's voice, a soft, desperate cry for help, drifting through the air like a ghost. Her daughter, so close yet so impossibly far away. Each illusion is a weapon, crafted to break them, to tear them apart at the very seams of their love and resolve. But Jamie and Claire are not easily broken. They have faced death, the tides of time itself, and countless trials together. Their bond is their strength, their love, their shield. Together, they fight back against the illusions, each step forward powered by an unwavering trust in each other. Their love becomes their compass, their guiding light, leading them through the maze of shifting corridors until they finally reach the heart of the temple, the Chamber of Echoes. Inside the chamber, an ancient altar stands bathed in an ethereal, otherworldly light. Mystical symbols, pulsing with power, dance across its surface, radiating an energy that feels like the very essence of time itself. This is the place where Faith was hidden, where she was torn from them, locked away in the past. The truth they've been desperately searching for is now within their grasp, but the altar demands a sacrifice, a price that could shatter everything they have ever known. With a heart heavy with both fear and love, Claire steps forward, her trembling hands reaching for the altar. In that instant, a blinding light engulfs her, and in the blink of an eye, she is transported to the past, standing in the very moment when faith was stolen from her arms. Claire watches, powerless, as the shadows of fate perform an ancient, cruel ritual to erase her daughter's existence from the timeline. They believed Faith to be too powerful, too dangerous to exist, and so they sealed her away, hidden in a place beyond the reach of time itself, a world between worlds, a limbo where she has remained trapped, unseen by all but those who control the flow of history. But there's something else, something Claire cannot ignore. Amidst the ritual, amidst the ancient forces at work, she catches a glimpse of Faith's face, her daughter's wide, tear-filled eyes staring back at her. Faith is alive. She's been hidden, a prisoner in a timeless void, waiting for her mother's love to reach her. And, from somewhere beyond the veil of time, she calls out to Claire, her voice echoing through the ages. "Mama, help me!" Before Claire can respond, the Whisperer strikes. His blade flashes through the air, aimed directly at Claire's heart, a lethal strike that would end her quest for the truth. But Jamie is faster. With a cry of fury and love, he throws himself between the Whisperer and Claire, fighting with every ounce of strength and desperation to protect her, to protect the fragile truth they've uncovered. The battle that ensues is brutal, a furious dance through time itself. The Whisperer, a master of time and space, moves like a shadow, his strikes swift and deadly, yet Jamie, driven by a father's love, refuses to back down. His heart beats with an intensity that even time itself cannot break, a force powerful enough to stop the flow of destiny. As the battle rages on, Claire realizes that the only way to save Faith is to break the seal that binds her, to shatter the prison that has held her captive for all these years. But doing so will unleash the full, raw power of the Chamber of Echoes, tearing open a rift in the very fabric of time. The cost could be devastating, more than they ever imagined. It could change everything. It could destroy everything they fought for. But Claire, with tears streaming down her face, knows there is no other choice. With unwavering determination, she recites the incantation she learned from Master Raymond. Her voice trembles, but remains steady, her hands gripping the altar with a love so fierce it could pierce the very walls of time. The symbols on the altar flare with an otherworldly brilliance, the chamber trembling with the power of her defiance, until the very air around them explodes in a burst of radiant light. Time shatters around them. In the instant the light fades, Claire is consumed by visions of Faith, flashes of a life she never got to witness, moments of joy, sorrow, strength, and survival. She watches as Faith grows up, defying the cruel forces of the shadows of fate, becoming a woman capable of surviving in a world where she's never known her true parents. And then, Claire sees the future, a future where Faith is standing beside her and Jamie, a family reunited at last, a dream that has lingered for so long finally within reach. But just as quickly as the vision comes, it is torn away. The Whisperer screams in fury, his power shattered by Claire's defiance. He lunges at her, intent on destroying everything she's fought for, but Jamie is ready. With one final devastating strike, he defeats the Whisperer, sending him tumbling into the depths of the temple, lost to the sands of time forever. With the Whisperer defeated, and the truth about Faith's existence forever altered, Claire and Jamie stand together, hearts heavy with the realization that their journey is far from over. The battle for their family is just beginning, but they are no longer alone in the fight. Time itself has been broken, and the Frasers are ready to face whatever comes next, united by their love, their unwavering determination, and the hope of a future where their family can finally be whole again. The battle is won, but the cost is high. The Temple of Time begins to collapse, its magic unraveling as the timeline resets. Jamie and Claire barely escape, fleeing as the walls crumble around them. Outside, they watch as the temple vanishes, leaving only ruins behind. The mirror of Echo shatters, its power gone forever. But Claire isn't defeated. She's seen the truth. She knows Faith is alive, and nothing will stop her from finding her. She turns to Jamie, her eyes blazing with determination. "We're getting her back," she vows, her voice unwavering. Jamie nods, his love and loyalty unbreakable. "I swear it. We'll bring her home." But their journey is far from over. The shadows of fate are still out there, and they won't rest until Faith is. Hidden once more, Jamie and Claire have defied destiny, but the consequences are only beginning to unfold. The timeline has been altered, and the world they return to may not be the one they left behind. As Jamie and Claire emerge from the ruins of the Temple of Time, they realize the world around them is eerily different. The air feels colder, the sky darker, and the land is scarred, as if touched by a great calamity. They've changed the timeline, and the consequences are already rippling through history. But there's no time to dwell on the past. Faith is out there, trapped in the world between worlds, and every second counts. Returning to Fraser's Ridge, they're met with familiar faces who seem off. Their friends and family look at them with suspicion, their memories altered by the timeline shift. Even Brianna and Roger don't recognize them at first, their minds clouded by the shadows of fate's influence. It's as if Jamie and Claire are strangers in their own home. The heartbreak is palpable, but they refuse to give up. Determined to restore their family and find Faith, Claire dives into her books, searching for answers about the world between worlds. She recalls Master Raymond's cryptic warnings about the void where time stands still, a place where souls can be lost forever. But there is a way in, a hidden portal known as the Gate of Shadows, guarded by the last remnant of the Shadows of Fate. To open the gate, they need the Key of Echoes, a mystical artifact lost to time. Legend has it, the key is hidden within the stones, protected by ancient magic. But the stones are even more dangerous now, unstable from the temple's destruction. One wrong step could send them hurtling into an unknown era, lost forever. But Jamie and Claire have no choice. To save Faith, they must risk everything. Their journey leads them across the windswept moors and ancient glens of Scotland, chasing the murmurs of forgotten legends and the fading echoes of magic long buried by time. Every step they take draws them deeper into the heart of history and closer to the truth. But with each new discovery comes danger, because they're not the only ones searching. Lurking in the shadows are the loyalists of the old order, the Shadows of Fate. These are not ordinary enemies, but zealots who remember the world before the timeline was altered. They serve a cause older than kings, darker than any war. And they will do anything, kill, deceive, destroy to prevent Jamie and Claire from reaching the gate that could unravel it all. The battles are brutal and unrelenting. These foes wield time like a weapon and illusions like a blade. But Jamie and Claire are no strangers to war. Fighting side by side, their hearts beating in unison, they face each challenge with fierce resolve. Through blood, fire, and fear, their bond becomes a weapon of its own, unshakable, unbreakable. Yet their enemies are cunning. Along the path, Claire and Jamie are tormented by visions crafted to shatter their spirits, nightmares of a world where they are torn apart, of faith lost forever, erased from memory. Illusions so vivid, they blur the line between fear and reality. But love anchors them, the love they fought for across decades and destinies. And that love steels their hearts against the darkness. Their determination drives them forward across rain-drenched mountains, through haunted ruins, and into forgotten realms where time does not flow as it should. Eventually, they arrive at the ancient stones, a sacred place humming with raw, primordial energy. Deep within lies the Key of Echoes, a mystical artifact that can break the seal holding Faith captive. But the key is not unguarded. Standing between them and their daughter is a creature of living myth, an ancient guardian born of magic and time itself, bound to protect the secret at all costs. It is a test of strength, of courage, of heart. The battle that ensues is unlike anything Jamie and Claire have faced before a storm of magic and fury, as time buckles around them. But together, they endure. Jamie's unyielding will and Claire's brilliant mind become their salvation. Through wit, bravery, and sacrifice, they outmaneuver the Guardian and retrieve the key just as the ancient temple begins to collapse, the stones crumbling in a rain of light and ruin. Yet even as they flee the destruction, victory slips through their fingers. For waiting in the mist is the final shadow, the master of the Whisperer, the architect of this chaos, a being who walks outside of time itself. And with a voice like thunder and sorrow, he delivers a devastating truth. By breaking the seal, by altering the fragile balance of time, Claire has triggered a paradox. Not only is Faith still in danger, but now she is at risk of being erased from existence entirely. What began as a journey to find their daughter has become a race against destiny itself, and the final battle has only just begun. The only way to save her is to use the Key of Echoes to rewrite history at the cost of Claire's own life. It's a devastating choice. Claire is willing to make the sacrifice, her love for Faith stronger than her fear of death. But Jamie refuses to let her go. He won't lose her again. In a heartbreaking moment, he begs Claire to stay, to find another way. But Claire knows there's no other choice. She kisses Jamie one last time, her tears mingling with his as she steps into the stones, the Key of Echoes glowing in her hands. Time bends around her, the world spinning as she faces the void where Faith is trapped. She calls out, her voice echoing through the darkness, and Faith's face appears, her eyes filled with hope and love. Claire reaches out, her fingers brushing against Faith's, and in that moment, time itself shatters. The void explodes in light, the timeline resetting as Claire's sacrifice rewrites history. Back at Fraser's Ridge, Jamie falls to his knees, his heart breaking as he feels Claire slip away. But then a miracle. Claire reappears, collapsing into his arms, alive but barely breathing. The Key of Echoes saved her, protecting her soul from the void. And standing beside them, her face glowing with tears of joy, is Faith, restored to the world. Her existence no longer erased. The family is reunited. But the battle is far from over. The shadows of fate are defeated, but the timeline remains unstable, and the consequences of Claire's actions are only beginning to unfold. They've defied destiny, rewritten history, and brought Faith home. But at what cost? As Jamie holds Claire and Faith close, he looks out at the horizon, his eyes filled with both hope and fear. The world has changed, and their fight is far from over. Outlander Season 8, Episode 1 has left us absolutely captivated, hanging on every twist and turn, with more questions than answers. The stage is set for an unforgettable clash against fate itself, and the stakes are higher than ever before. What will the shadows of fate do next? Will they succeed in erasing the future of the Frasers, forever altering the course of their legacy? How will Jamie and Claire navigate the perilous path ahead to protect their family from the catastrophic consequences of tampering with history? And perhaps the most intriguing question of all, what does the future truly hold for Faith? This is only the beginning of what promises to be an extraordinary season, and we are on the edge of our seats just like you. But now, we want to hear from you. What are your theories, predictions, and thoughts on what's coming next? Don't be shy. Drop them in the comments below. We absolutely love engaging with all of you and can't wait to hear your insights. If you're as hooked as we are, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss a single moment of the thrilling action as we continue our journey through Outlander Season 8, Episode 1 and beyond. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this amazing adventure with us. We couldn't do it without your support. Until next time, take care and we'll see you in the next one.